What's up, everybody? Quentin and Victoria here, Mid-South Outdoor Life, and today we're bringing you the episode that we promised from our last video. We're going to be cooking and eating skipjack. Now, those of you that have followed this channel for a little while, you've seen us use a lot of skipjack on this channel, but generally we're feeding it to catfish, not to ourselves. If you don't know what a skipjack is, the long and short of it is, it's just a freshwater herring. However, we've never eaten it. We've never met anyone who's ever eaten it. We've never heard of anyone ever eating it. But today we're going to give it a try. We've got it right here. Now, why would we be doing that? For those of you that are new to the channel, you might be asking. Well, our last video we shot a fishing challenge in which we were going for the largest bass, and she lost. So she's up first. I'm going to make her a skipjack sandwich. Let's go. I gotta be honest with you, I'm not really made to be in the kitchen. It's not really my forte, but part of the deal in this competition was, you know, the loser has to eat the skipjack, but the winner has to cook it. So I'm gonna give it my best shot, and I'm just gonna keep it simple. I'm gonna basically just make, I'm gonna make this like I would if I was making a catfish sandwich. Just really, really simple stuff. The first thing I did when I pulled these skipjack out of the river is I removed the entire gut pocket, all in one swipe. Knocked the head off, knocked the tail off, all the guts came out with the head, and then I just pushed the bloodline out of the spine. And as far as I know, the next best step for me is just to cut the meat away from the rib cage, and then I'm going to try to remove a lot of the red meat and the fat. The fat is probably one of the most unappealing things about these fish, you know, coming from someone who's not yet consumed it. I don't know if you can see it, but that's all fat right there. Well, you can see a pretty noticeable white line around there. They're just a really fatty, oily fish. And when they begin to, you know, get a little old, they smell horrid. When they get way past fresh, they just take on a new level of disgusting like no fish I've ever experienced before. It's a haunting, death-like smell. I'll put it to you that way. Now again, when it comes to cooking these things, I know nothing about this. I've cut up a million skipjack, but I'm usually cutting them up for catfish. You know, I've spent the last couple of days sort of trying to reassure Victoria that this skipjack probably wouldn't be that bad. But after looking at this and smelling it, that may have been a little off. Okay, so check this out. You could essentially say that I have now processed 2 skipjack for human consumption. I've cut up thousands of these, tens of thousands of them in my pursuit of trophy catfish, making videos for you guys. But that's always outside. The first thing that I noticed, oh my God, the smell in this house right now. It's totally different than being out on the boat in the open air, let me assure you. Here's a look at some of the waste. This whole pile right here is waste of those 2 skipjack. All the red, fatty, ridiculously slippery meat. And then this is the part that's left. Another thing of note, yes, it's full of bones, but they are super tiny pin bones. Maybe the finest I've ever encountered, even more so than trout by quite a bit. So I'm just going to cook it up this way. And hopefully they won't become some sort of death-inducing apparatus. Okay, so I mentioned that I was going to treat this as if I was just making a catfish sandwich. That said, I'm putting the skipjack in an egg wash here. Nothing fancy about that, just going to coat it, and then I'm going to roll it in some breading. And then I've got some hot grease waiting on it out on the back porch. So Victoria's sitting in the other room right now, sipping on a glass of wine, and she basically has the look of disgust and terror on her face. And she asked me if I thought this was going to be disgusting. Well, my first thought was, not my problem. But I feel as though a better response might be not disgusting, but delicious adjacent. We'll go with that. Here's an idea. Those of you watching at home right now, perhaps you could go to the comments section right now, just look below the screen, and give your prediction on if we're going to like this or not. And then at the end of the video, you can go back and comment whether or not you were right, or I don't know, something to that effect. Let me know what you think. I want to know your prediction at this point, I think basically is what I'm getting at. And there we have it, the freshest freshwater herring this side of the Mississippi, breaded and ready for the grease. I suppose this is as good a time as any to mention, I'm not going to be a total jerk about this. I'm going to eat some too. I can't leave her to suffer entirely alone. That, and I'm actually pretty curious. I mean, who knows? It might be good. We'll find out in a couple of minutes. Check that out. It looks good. It smells fine now, which is surprising. But here we go. I promised a standard catfish sandwich type situation, so we just got some pretty basic looking buns. I don't know what she bought, but basic looking buns. Wasabi based mayonnaise, delicious with fish. And then just some pickle spears, or pickle slices, yeah, and some cheese. Here we go. Here we go. Okay, this is our hashtag follow me for more recipes moment.
I don't think we're going to get many followers.
Okay.
All right, here we go. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. 1, 2, 3.
Bones.
Bones. Oh, God. Oh.
There's a lot of bones.
The flavor's not that bad.
The bones did not dissolve.
No. I feel like I'm flossing and eating at the same time.
It's white flaky meat.
Mm-hmm.
It has bones kind of like trout.
Times 1,000.
But it's actually good. Like,
if the bones weren't there, it'd be really good.
Mm-hmm.
But the bones are kind of an annoyance.
I don't know if you guys have ever eaten trout, but it's a lot better than trout, in my opinion. It's mild, and I have no fish odor.
No. If it weren't for the bones.
I'm blown away. If the coronavirus shutdown continues and we completely run out of groceries, I can survive on skipjack. It is no joke. Plenty good, isn't it? Except the bones. If you like bones, you'll love this.
The bones are a little aggressive, but
So my verdict, oddly enough, is this is actually reminiscent of some flathead, with the exception of the bone. It's a little bit oily, It's pretty white. It's more tender than flathead. But I tell you what, if you like white, tender, somewhat oily fish and a whole bunch of bones, you'll love this. Well, folks, there you have it. The next time you go skipjack fishing and somebody happens to mention, hey, does anybody eat these? You can say, well, yeah, these two idiots on a YouTube channel called Mid-South Outdoor Life, they eat it. Seriously, though, it's good. Like, I'm blown away.
It's not that bad.
I thought it just wouldn't be terrible, but it's good. Yeah, that's it. We'll see you in the next one.
If we live.
This production was brought to you by Battery Outfitters, powering everything from lawn tractors and sports cars to RVs and forklifts. With locations all over the Mid-South, they are your neighborhood battery store.